कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, अरे कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो। साहब मिले सबूरी में, अरे साहब मिले सबूरी में, मन लागो यार फकीरी में, मन लागो।
The world is increasingly getting chaotic and darker. But how to stay with an open heart? I assure you, the world was always like this. Always like this. If you read literature from any particular century and from any place, you'd always find the authors complaining that the times have become so bad. They were complaining in the 18th century that the times have become extremely bad. They were complaining the same way in 15th century, in the 5th century, and even in 5th century BC. It's the same human mind. But yes, this time is special in the sense that the products of man's mind have become more visible now. The population of mankind has exceeded 8 billion. The number of nuclear warheads has exceeded all previous records. The temperatures too have exceeded all previous records. The number of species being lost every month, that too has exceeded all limits. So the results are becoming more apparent now. I'm saying the quality of man's mind is same, but because man has much more at his disposal by way of knowledge, by way of resources, so the influence that he has on the environment and the scope of devastation that he can cause, that has become unparalleled. One sees that, one remains open to that. In fact, that presents us with a great opportunity. I've been here this entire month, and very frequently I have countered the question, what is the purpose of life? Though life is intrinsically purposeless, but when you see all the chaos and the suffering around you, and if you have an open heart, don't you immediately get a purpose for yourself? I am asking you again. We ask, what is the purpose of life? As if there would be some transcendental purpose. As if the purpose would be shrouded in mysticism. The purpose is obvious, direct. If you love the Ganga is vanishing. You want another purpose? If you love the city is getting filthier by the day. You want another purpose? If you love the Himalayas, they are getting destroyed. Do you want another purpose? You love animals? The responsibility of love is to know what is happening all around, and especially to the beloved. Is the purpose not obvious? Your open heart would then express itself and act in the most appropriate of ways. This earth needs healing today, and needs healing more than it ever did. If you are in love with a woman, and she is diseased, do you just sit in front of her and keep admiring her looks? I'm asking you again. Do you just sit in front of her and keep admiring her looks? What is your responsibility?
No.
To help. Then why do you just sit by the Ganga and keep admiring her looks? Is that not exploitation? It may not be active exploitation, but is it not passive exploitation?
Sometimes hard to help.
One figures out. The question is how to help. One figures out. In love, one does find a way. That's the energy of love. That's the commitment of love.
It seems that the problem is so far beyond what one person can do. It's like
The woman in front of you has cancer. Would you say the problem is so far beyond that I can't do anything about it? Your beloved has cancer, probably the last stage. Would you say that the problem is so far beyond that nothing can be done about it, so I just sit and admire her?
sometimes yes.
But you say that only after having done the utmost you could have. Have you already done the utmost you can? Yes, of course. There comes a point in the terminal stages where one does not do anything anymore. But before that, one honestly tries everything. Does one not? Have we tried anything? Forget about trying everything. We come here just to watch her and then to fly back. And one day, when you will land here, she'll be no more. The glacier that feeds her has already shrunk a lot.
So then you become a political activist, but in that political activism you still have to work with your heart. Because it's not so easy
Of
to do
course,
that kind
of
of
course.
work.
In the world, everything is politics. But here there is no politics. So engage in all worldly affairs, all manipulations, all that the world works by. But still be centered here. Centered here. You can cut through any politics.
Is it helpful to meditate and send out well wishes to the world? Because for me that's really I don't
That sending
know what
out
else
of
to do.
well wishes to the world. Yes. The meditative mind brings about welfare to the entire world. But that is not because it sends out certain vibrations. That is because it acts rightly. The meditative mind, in its right action, in acting rightly, brings relief and welfare to the entire world. But kindly do not think that if you escape away to some mountain and you sit down in a particular pose and you start meditating, that will help the world. That is just an escape. The meditative mind is a mind capable of deep action, intense energetic action, because you are still within, so you can tolerate all the disturbance outside. Only the meditative mind can enter a flurry of action, a whole cyclone of action. You know, at the center of the cyclone, there is the eye, and it's the point of stillness. If you have that point of stillness within, then you can tolerate all kinds of whirlwinds and disturbances.